It's the Players Club New Mexico here on the U Sports Report. This is where we give you our idea of who we think really stood out in the last week in the world of sports. Kimberly, there's a guy in the NHL who's setting things on fire.
There is, and you know what? He plays for my personal favorite team. He's got
Let me guess, San Jose.
San Jose! Yes. You knew.
I did.
But he has got an attitude and a spirit that just has given San Jose the upper edge on this series against LA. And if they continue to let Pavelski do his thing, Joe Pavelski, everybody.
Joe.
If they let him do his thing for the remainder of this series against LA, we may just pull it off.
Are you willing to predict that you guys will pull it off?
I think we will take at least one more game and we will win the series 3-2 at least.
Okay, you heard it. For prediction, lay your non-betting money down on her word, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I'm probably not as good at predictions as Khalil is, but if Joe Pavelski is anything, he is good at hockey.
Okay.
He is number 3 in the league for games played in the regular season, 82 games. 6th for points scored in the regular season with 78 points. 4th for points scored in the playoffs with 4 points for the San Jose Sharks. Now, we know that there was more than 4 points scored so far in the playoffs, but 4 of those points have been Pavelski's.
Nice.
He's had 40 attacks in the regular season, but only 1 in the playoffs, which is a good thing and a bad thing, I guess, kind of depending on what your view of hockey is.
So he's doing the proverbial putting the team on his back.
Absolutely.
Okay.
If anybody should do it, I think it's definitely Joe Pavelski, and I have to name him as my player of the week because he has impressed me so much in these playoffs.
Mr. Pavelski, you are the player of the week. For Miss Kimberly Ann Temple, mine, I'm going old school. I'm going to give credit to a guy who's been doing it for a very, 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 very long time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tim Duncan is my player of the week. Did he do anything special? No. He just was actually able to play in the game. 18 NBA seasons, that's a very long time. And he plays hard. I was watching him this weekend play as the Spurs were taking on Memphis. And he comes in, and yes, it takes him a little time to get up and down the floor, but he makes it, and he happens to have the perfect timing. The play could be, you could have 9 players on one side of the floor, and Tim Duncan will come down, get the ball in his hands, and know exactly what to do with it. 18 NBA seasons, 5-time NBA champion, 3-time NBA Finals MVP, 2-time League MVP, 15-time All-Star, also the National Player of the Year. I have to admit, I'm a little bit of a homer. I went to college in North Carolina, and I got to see Tim Duncan play his first 2 years in college. I got to see him up close and personal. At first, he was kind of sorry. All he could do was rebound the ball, dunk, and block. That's it. But by the time he left college, that's why they call him the big fundamental. He had all of these skills down. He went to San Antonio, the perfect situation for him. He gets to learn under the Hall of Famer, David Robinson, and look at what he's done with his career. He has a chance to get the coveted 6th ring. He can tie Michael Jordan for 6 rings. Yes.
Now that right there is an accomplishment in itself, but I'm looking at our notes and he has written here, he is the man.
He is.
I have just like so many notes about Joe Pavelski, and all that Khalil has written down is he is the man. So he is just telling you all of these incredible accomplishments on Tim Duncan's behalf just because he purely loves this man.
Yeah. Tim Duncan is the man. I mean, that's all you have to do is say he's the man. What is he? He's real good. As my buddy Maynard Coward says, what do you think about Tim Duncan? He's real good. He is real good.
No arguments here.
That's right.
No arguments here.
That's right. That's how he does. Okay, that was it for the Players Club. Coming up, our big, bright idea. Are dominating teams in sports messing up the game? We'll see after this on the U Sports Report.